Good afternoon and happy St. Patrick's Day to all of your sunshiny faces. Happy Saturday, guys. I woke up this morning, guys, at like 7:45 or something like that. I think Matthew woke me up, or 7:40 or something. Oh my gosh, guys, I was up so early. We ended up going to Matthew's girlfriend's, I was going to say her volleyball tournament. No, she had a track meet. And she does long jump. Or that's what she did at this. It was a conference meet. So she originally, we were just going to go and go see her because she just had the one. The last time we ended up going and seeing her, she was at home. And she competed in 3 different events, the long jump, and then 2 running events. I think one was a shorter distance and one was a little bit of a longer distance. And she ended up placing 3rd today in her, I don't necessarily know what it was, but I think they split it into 2 groups, and in her group she ended up placing 3rd, which is pretty good. So we ended up going and watching, and then we thought we'd be out of there within an hour, or something, or less than that even. And so then we end up finding out that she can't leave until after the meet. So she was like, oh, well, you guys stay. So we ended up staying until noon, which was when it was actually over. I think one of the last ones was at 12:30 or 1 o'clock or something like that, and then she was leaving. So we ended up staying until 12 o'clock. So we did that. Then we got back home, and then my mom ended up making St. Patrick's Day our corned beef and cabbage for dinner tonight. And we went out to Walmart because my mom needed to get hair dye. I used a coupon for her hair dye. And then we were also going to get dessert at Walmart too, and a few other things. And it's not couponing stuff or my grocery shopping list or anything like that, but just a couple things my mom needed. So we ended up going there, and we were going to get the dessert for today. And right when we were about ready to check out, my dad ends up calling my mom and is like, oh, I got cupcakes. So we real quick put literally, I'm not even joking, we were at the self-checkout, and my mom's on the phone with my dad, and she's like, Kayla, go put this back. And I was like, why? And she's like, Dad got cupcakes. So I run back, put it away, and then I go back and ended up leaving with her while she was checking out. So, it was crazy though, but my dad ended up getting that instead. So we ended up going there, then we got back home, we ended up eating and everything like that. And I think that was it. I think that was all that I was at today, but I'm so tired, guys. Seriously. I ended up watching, I watched a little bit of the Hawks game. I watched the Cubs play too, which was actually really fun to watch, and I can't wait until spring training is over. But I've only seen 2 spring training games, but it's weird because they don't play all the players for the full time, and they'll switch off, and on top of that too, they ended up having a doubleheader split game for today, and so they had half the team playing. They ended up playing, I think, the Indians maybe, and they ended up playing them. Half their team ended up playing, and the other half of their team ended up playing their other half of their team. So they ended up it wasn't the full team or anything like that. And we only got one of the games, the later one. And then I ended up watching the Bulls game as well, which they ended up losing. But it was a really close game, and it was weird too because they ended up playing the Cavaliers, which is both Cleveland and the Cleveland Indians. So it was that's really bizarre. But I think the Cubs won. I don't know if they won the first game, but I know the game that I watched, they ended up winning 11-2 or something, or 4 or something like that. And then the Bulls ended up just barely losing in the last I don't even know, minute or something like that. They had it tied up and ended up losing, I think by 3 points or something like that, or maybe it was 5 points was the final or something was the difference. So I ended up watching that, and then I also too ended up watching, I'm all caught up with my shows too, guys, because I was a week or 2 weeks almost behind or something, or I know I was over 2 weeks behind it because I had 2 episodes of each, but I think I might have even been almost 3 weeks that I hadn't watched a couple of them. So yeah, I watched Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder, and I finished those up, and the How to Get Away with Murder was the season finale, or like the mid-season. I don't know if it's the mid-season or the season finale or something like that, but it ended up being over. So yeah, but I woke up so early this morning, guys. I just barely was able to make coffee, and then on top of that, I ended up not even having time to put makeup on. I had to put my makeup on in the car because we didn't have enough time. So I literally rolled out of bed, put my clothes on, and left the house. Like, it was that fast. And I think I ended up having Matthew take the dogs out while my coffee was being made in the Keurig. So I literally am super tired. It's actually, I started getting tired at like 9:30, honestly. And then I was like, well, I'll just watch. I was like, it's too early to take a shower. And then the other thing is, too, I think I told you guys yesterday, Matthew ended up going to a college volleyball game. His coach organized for them to go and see a college volleyball game, which I thought was really cool. They ended up going, I think, to Buffalo Wild Wings beforehand, and then ended up going to the college, which was like, I think, like 30 or something minutes away from us anyway, and then ended up going and watching that. Matthew was like, originally this morning, he was like, yeah, he's like, but it's going to waste, some of my day and stuff like that for me to get other stuff done, because he doesn't have to work today, but he has to work tomorrow. So he was like, I don't really know if I wanted to do, all this kind of stuff, and he's like, I don't know if I want to go, and he wasn't thinking one of his friends was going to go, and he's like, she said it isn't mandatory, but I was like, yeah, but you still going to go, and he said it was, like, really fun, he said, because it was, like, they got, like, so hyped in the building, and, it's like a big college, I'm sure it wasn't, like, I don't think the college was like some huge college or anything like that. It was a little bit smaller, but still he was like, it's bigger than the high school. And so he was like, the crowd just got into it, and like they got so hyped and stuff like that. I was like, that's so cool. I was like, that's how we normally feel, but there's normally a lot less of us, especially like at tournaments and stuff like that, but we're very loud and like we cheer them on and stuff like that too. And even also when like the JV or the freshmen or something like that or the varsity, even last year when Matthew played at JV, like if they were done earlier, they'd come and they'd cheer them on and stuff like that. And so Matthew said, like, that always kind of got him like pumped up and everything. But he said that this was like very much that, and I was like, that's the same way like us as fans that sit on the sidelines feel, like we get very pumped up and stuff like that. I was like, and I know like out on the court for them, like they feel that kind of differently, and so I was like, now you get to see it as the as a spectator, instead of as a player, and then also too just like for him to like observe the game from as a spectator as well, and be able to watch like a college game and how they rotate and do different stuff and things like that that can help them, I guess, a little bit. And two, just team bonding I think is really good, and I like that the coach is doing that like earlier in the year to get them kind of all to like bond together. So I thought that was really cool, which is something that I don't know that they've done in the past. And I don't know if it was just for the varsity or if it was anybody was allowed to go. But I know that in the past that I know of, they hadn't normally have had that. At least I know Matthew for sure didn't do it with the JV or anything like that. But I'm not sure that even the varsity like last year or anything like that had that. I think it's just the new coach decided to do it. So since it was 9:30, Matthew wasn't home yet. I think he got home like around 10 or something like that. I was like, okay, well, since I don't know if he's going to need to take a shower when he got home, I was like, I know he took one when he left, but I wasn't sure if he was going to come home and be like, oh, I have to take a shower. So I was like, okay, I'll just wait, because I honestly wanted to go to bed at like 9:30. And I got hooked on a new Netflix show, guys. It is actually, I think it's a British, well, I know it is because they all have British accents, but I think, I don't know what station it aired on or anything like that, but I know that it's some type of English like TV station or something like that, and it's called, I think, The Five or something like that. It's like a murder mystery kind of. It's actually really cool. I think there's only one season. I think it concludes at the end of the season, like you'll get the full like wrap up, like there won't be any cliffhangers, at least I don't think. I believe, though, from what I read, because I wanted to know a tiny bit about it just before I started watching it, and to see, because when it said, like, only one season, and I think it was 2016, I was like, okay, well, is it, like, did it do really bad, and that's why they didn't renew it, or something like that, you know, am I going to be left at the last episode and be like, okay, what's going to happen next, and it, you know, but I did see that it does say that they were going to, or they did renew it, but I don't know if they started production or not, for a second season, and it's supposed to be called The Four, so I'm not totally sure what that's supposed to mean yet. I'm only 3 episodes in, but it's honestly, the first episode, I feel like I was a little bit confused, and, like, it was a little slow at the very beginning, like, the first episode, but then once I got into the second and third episode, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good, and so I really suggest if you guys like, kind of, like, murder mystery or something like that, it was very, like, it's very interesting, and I feel like it's going to be one of those, like, crazy, like, you know, at the end, you know, kind of like bombshells, just because I feel like it's building like that, like, you can't, I like it because it's not something that's super predictable, like, oh, you know, it's going to be this person, or, you know, it's going to be that, or, like, you know, whatever, and so I was like, this is, like, really cool, it's a really cool show so far, so, yeah, I was just, like, okay, I could watch something that, like, I'm already watching on Netflix. I was like, or I could start something. I like it that it is only, I think it's only, like, 10 episodes or something like that. I was like, so I can just watch it and be done with it. Then and not be like, oh, I have to wait for the next season to come out, like, if I really do like it. You know, I obviously will watch the next one, like I said, but it doesn't look like it's going to be out really anytime soon. And, like, add another show to my list of shows that I'm watching or want to watch. So it's something that I can just kind of quickly, but I didn't really feel like watching anything today that I had. I was like, I kind of want to be in the mood for, like, I was going to watch a movie, and I was like, that's going to be way too long, because it's going to be until, like, you know, 3 in the morning or something crazy like that. I'd be end up watching it until, so I was like, okay, well, I'll just watch this and, like, watch an episode or 2, and I ended up watching 3, so, yeah, anyways, though, guys, but I did find a new show already on Netflix again, guys, like, we all find new shows on Netflix, and then we can't stop watching them, and then we binge on Netflix, which, like I said, I like that it is one season, so that's kind of the thing, too, I feel like, is that, like, with certain TV shows, like, you can have highs and lows in a season, or, like, one season might be, like, really great. I was even telling you guys, too, about The Walking Dead, and how, like, I think it was, like, the third or fourth episode, or third or fourth season, those two were probably, like, my favorite seasons, like, ever. And then after that, like, the beginning was, like, an introduction kind of thing. It was, like, okay, you know, kind of cool. But then, like, I felt like, or maybe it was the third and fourth season or something like that. It was, like, the middle, kind of. And, like, those were probably my favorite seasons. And then, after that, like, this lately, the stuff that's been going on in The Walking Dead, like, I haven't even been watching it. And so, yeah, I just, like, there's certain shows, too, like, even, too, I was telling you guys originally, like, a few months ago, I got hooked on The Blacklist and was watching that, and the first, like, season, and I think that maybe the second season, or half of the second season, or something like that was good, but then, I feel like whatever season I'm watching right now, I just haven't really been into it, and, like, I feel like it's just kind of, like, not repetitive, but, like, sometimes some TV shows can get like that, too, and I feel like that was even the way with Pretty Little Liars. Like, once it got to a point, you're like, okay, this is gonna happen again, you know, and it was kind of just getting, like, not old, but I think in certain circumstances, like, some TV shows can either get repetitive, or, like, you just start to figure it out, you know, or it's, like, you know, just seems like it's dragging on and stuff like that, and so it just kind of depends, and so I'm excited that it's only, like, one season, and like I said, they're doing something a little bit different, I think, with the second season, and since it's kind of a different title, I'm assuming that this will be a little bit more, like, wrapped and, like, cleaned up, instead of kind of, like, lingering on, and then you just keep going with, like, the story and stuff like that, because, honestly, though, I mean, Grey's Anatomy, I feel like there was, like, certain episodes that I really liked, but I don't think that there was, like, one season that I was like, oh my gosh, I love this season of Grey's Anatomy. Like, I feel like it's been going for so long, though, guys. It's, like, on its, like, 12th season or something like that now. I don't even know. It's, like, crazy, but, like, I don't think that there was, like, a season like that I was like, I loved it. It was just, like, an episode here or there, you know, or, like, a finale or something like that I thought was really good. But I don't necessarily know that, like, I don't even know either, too. With Scandal, too, I felt like it was kind of the same thing, but with that, I was always with the exception of I think the first season, I always watched it like not live, but I recorded it, and so I'd watch like the next episode like within, you know, a week or two or something like that. And so I was never watching like, you know, a full season or something like that on Netflix. I think with the exception of, like I said, the first season I watched on Netflix and then loved it, and then decided to start watching it actually on ABC when it was on. So yeah, and that was like I said too with Grey's Anatomy, I just like I never felt like it really lulled. It was kind of like the same thing like constantly across, and you'd have like one good episode and then it'd kind of just be the same. But like I said, I don't really feel like for me personally that it was like some like I was like, oh my gosh, the season's amazing, and then, you know, just like, or some season was horrible or something like that. Which I guess is good. Anyways, though, guys, found my new show, at least for a couple more episodes, which I'll probably be done with, like, by tomorrow or, you know, by Monday or something like that. So, anyways, though, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So, bye, guys.